You could just stay and split.
Yes.
But I'm glad you got it. If you even be as part of it, you've taken all the chances. Now it's up to you.
We hope you enjoy this evening's program. We begin this evening with one of the graduation highlights, the introduction of the 1991 graduating class.
Each graduate will be introduced individually by Mr. Dubnik and Mr. Miller. Mr. Tykolos will be presenting their diplomas. Please refrain from applauding until the entire graduating class has been introduced. Thank you.
Good evening. Bonjour. Ladies and gentlemen.
Mesdames et messieurs,
Welcome.
bienvenue.
This evening, Mr. Dubnik and I will be introducing the graduating class of 1991. We hope that you enjoy our tribute to these students and realize that the tributes are done in fun. Please don't take any offense to any of the roasts. We hope that you enjoy what we say about each of the grads as much as we have had enjoyment in writing them. After teaching these students for 4 years and interacting with them, we must say it's payback time.
Just kidding. Who should we start with? Birthday boy, Corey Deemert. Corey A.P. Deemert, known as Steamer. Corey was a great asset to the Shadows football team. He played center and tackle, or tackling dummy for the team. He always seemed to be around after school, working on intramurals and intramural statistics and homework. I was just wondering if Corey really has a home. I've gotten to know Corey on a bit of a different level once he actually told me what to do, where to go, and for how long. That's the penalty box, number 13, 2 minutes for tripping. Corey will also be remembered for his gas. Well, he's a gas jockey at Co-op. Corey plans to take arts and science at U of S next year, but we believe, Mr. Miller and I believe, that he'd probably do better as a leading actor in a Diet Coke commercial. I guess that would be a classic.
Lowell George Johnston. It is hard to believe that the name Lowell means little beloved one. It should mean little talkative one. Lowell was extremely busy this year with volleyball, Tavia, basketball, Tavia, drama, Tavia. When I began teaching here, I often mistook Lowell for Leon and vice versa. That was until Lowell opened his mouth. When we asked Leon what to say about Lowell, he said he was kind, gentle, and generous. At first we questioned that, but when you're talking about brothers, everything is relative. When it comes to dating, I guess we all must pay our tolls, or is that vols? Lowell, throughout the year we have enjoyed your singing. It is your talking that is sometimes tiresome. We have a philosophical question for you. If waters run deep, Lowell, then what can be said about a babbling brook? By the way, did we mention that Lowell is seeing Tavia? Good luck, Lowell, in your future plans.
Next, Jeffrey Grant Barr. Jeff's time here at HSS. Oh boy. SHS has been a fascinating one. His choice of alternate clothing, styles, and music has added spice to the hallways of the school. I think he will be remembered most for his constant interaction with the students. I mean specifically Mr. Gottslick and Mr. Zolt. Many times one could hear them having heated debates dealing with the Charter of Rights as they echoed through these hallowed halls. But it is said that Mr. Zolt soon got bored with the issue as Jeff tried to skate through the issue. As for Mr. Gossett, it was said that he would cap off the discussion with a detention. In fact, Jeff had so many detentions this year he considered it to be an extracurricular activity. Congratulations, Jeff, and hats off to you.
Terry Elmgren. A rebel without a clue. Reminds me of a tree. Sturdy, tall, no, more like dense and doesn't move too fast. Actually, this isn't always true. Terry moves fast in his car, which you can be seen driving around and around and around Shaunavon streets. What I'll remember more about him is that he would always be one of the first students to school in the morning. In fact, he actually beat most of the teachers to school. In fact, he even beat Mr. Hammond to school in the morning, which leads me to suspect, does he really arrive early or does he just not leave at night? And my second point is, why is it that he is the first student here in the morning and yet the last one to make it to registration? When Terry was asked why he moved so slowly in school, his reply was, why put more effort in than you have to? Terry, you have a point there, but if you wear a hat, you could probably cover it. Terry plans to take commerce at the U of S. If he moves as fast as he did at SHS, perhaps he should leave right after the ceremony as school starts in only 10 weeks. Good luck, Terry.
Lyndon William McLean. Space, the final frontier. A legend in his own mind. Actually, we were confused about the name Lyndon, so we looked it up in a name book. Believe it or not, it means dweller under the lime tree. We were certain it would have read something like keeper of the hallways. Because he's dedicated his past several years to being the last person out of the hallways before each class. Ask not for whom the bell tolls. Sure as heck not Lyndon. Did you know that Lyndon worked part-time as a butcher? They say he was really making the money, but I say that he was having a tough time making ends meet. Lyndon would never let school interfere with his spare time, and he would never allow a bad word to be said around him, like that dreaded S word, study. By the way, Lyndon, it's good to see that you're here neatly dressed and bathed this evening. You say cleanliness is next to godliness, except when you're missing an English exam. You see, a while back during winter finals, Lyndon didn't show up for his Mrs. Bayless's English exam. Being the concerned teacher that she is, she phoned the McLean residence. There was no answer. Miss Bayless, most people would have given up, but Miss Bayless wouldn't. She says, I know he's home. She stormed out the door, crossed the football field, hopped the fence, and rapped on the McLean door. Lyndon was home. He wasn't sick. He wasn't sleeping. He was reclining at leisure in the bathtub. That didn't matter. Miss Bayless, she interrupted him and said, get your butt to school if you want to write this English exam. And, well, he did, and he passed. And thanks to Miss Bayless, I guess you could say that's why he's here. His hair was soaking wet. What a funny thing. So, congratulations, Lyndon, and good luck in your future.
Denny Edward Ogle. When Denny did lunch, he did it the cool way. He went for the full meal deal. Soup, sandwich, and an algebra text. Denny never had to call a date either. Mrs. East was the perfect lunch date with Denny's meal ticket. Conversation revolved around formulas, bases, square roots. Denny's date this evening is Rebecca Meek. Denny will have to wean himself off the bag lunches and chalk dust. Talk about prepared. Denny showed up at his English exam with a calculator. Let's see, what's the formula? To be or not to be? This all stems back from when he was little, and he got stung at a spelling bee. Denny has worked very hard both at academics and athletics. He gives true meaning to the saying, an unsung hero. You know that I'd sing you a song, Denny, except that I can't carry a tune in a paper bag. Denny plans to study instrumentation. That sounds like a tall order. Good luck, Denny.
Angela Dawn Nicholson. Nickname The Gitch. Don't ask me why. Oh, wow, doesn't she look fantastic? Angie doesn't always look this refined. In fact, I've seen her on some days where she's made Attila the Hun look like a nice guy. No, I'm not saying she's cold, but it's said that with one of her icy stares, she could freeze a cup of water at 10 paces. The good part is you never need a refrigerator when she's around. For the last couple of years, Mrs. Olson has claimed Angie as her adopted daughter. This claim could actually be true, because Angie does treat her just like a mother. She never listens. She's always late, constantly talking back, is always argumentative, and trying to take a mile when there's only an inch given. Isn't it wonderful to see this type of relationship instead of that typical student-teacher thing? Angie's interests involve music, sports, and watching other people work. Good luck in your future, Angie.
Jeffrey Paul Ritz. What exactly does one say about Jeff Ritz? He has contributed to this school in so many ways. In light of the time available, we decided it would be quicker to tell you what Jeff wasn't involved with this year rather than all the activities he was in. I mean, from honor roll in academics to the top athletic awards. He's the first Shaunavon Shadow to be asked to play for the Saskatoon Huskies. That is the football team, not the dog sled team. Word has it that Jeff is going to be driving the ambulance this summer. This is quite fitting that Jeff would do this, considering that for the last 4 years of hockey, football, and basketball, he has placed his fair share of people in there, as well as himself on several occasions. It was really impressive to see Jeff using cutlery at the banquet this evening. Jeff's size and appetite and intelligence reminds us of a famous actor, Jethro Bodine of the Hillbillies. Jeff plans to study physiotherapy at the U of S, although we feel it is likely that Jeff will be a double knot spy. Good luck, Jeff.
Robert Kenneth Joseph Lee. Look at him, standing there, tall, handsome, with that Richie Cunningham smile. How could anybody not like this good-natured man? But he has his faults. His locker was numbered 229, and the inside of it was not a pretty sight. It looked like an abandoned paper recycling depot. He also has his violent side. He's once seen punching his fist through a wall. Some say it's because he's tough. Others say it's because the wall couldn't punch back. But Rob mustn't be confused with other famous Lees. Sarah Lee, the great cook. Robert E. Lee, the general of the Confederate Army. Bruce Lee, the karate expert. We prefer to think of him as just ugly. Good luck with your future, Rob.
Ryan James Coulter, alias Big Joe McConey from the SHS drama production. Ryan plans to enroll in a library technician's course, which would serve as a stepping stone to becoming a writer. This should have been obvious to us because of the amount of time Ryan spent in the library this term. I can see it now, Conan the librarian. It is said that Ryan didn't like the public school very much. He was quoted as saying, "I really didn't mind it. It was just the principle of the thing." As for Ryan's affairs of the heart, some say it's all wrapped up. I say it's a done deal. One last piece of advice, Ryan, before you leave us. Next time you are looking through the window of the world, try not to bump into it this time. Someone has to clean up the mess. Good luck, Ryan.
Mr. Leon Johnson. Old Leo the Lion. Neither Tim or I really have anything bad to say about Leon. He's nice, polite, kind, always smiling. Sort of reminds me of a younger me, except I have looks. Leon has smiled even in the face of adversity, like when he got tossed out of the basketball game for having too many fouls, or like when the bus left him behind for the Swift Current track meet, or worse yet, how about that algebra final? Poor Leon. His smile can brighten up the gloomiest day, and I think he holds the record for the most number of good mornings in a single day. Leon, it is said that good guys don't finish last. They have won the race before it even starts. You are proof of that. Good luck in Bible college, Leon. Thanks, and we will miss you. And, oh yeah, would you please stop apologizing for winning the Ambassador Award 3 years running?
Jeffrey Mark Anderson. Jeff was born in Thunder Bay, Ontario. This might explain his affection for the East. Because Jeff is a good basketball player, we didn't think it would be right to slam him. At lunchtime, Jeff could often be seen dribbling, which is perhaps the key to his success. With all his lunchtime activities, he probably smelled pretty foul, technically speaking. When he leaves the team will be considered shadows of their former selves. Jeff tried to form a great labor movement, a coalition of algebra students demanding such rights as shorter working hours, easier tests, and lunch hours off. It won't be long now until Jeff will be enjoying the cool, refreshing glasses of iced tea with Kurt salmon. Apparently the iced tea was mixed so thick that the dispute was either to eat it with a spoon or a fork. As for your date tonight, Melissa, you have the right one, baby. Jeff's future plans include attending school in Moose Jaw to take computer engineering. Good luck.
Darren James Shaw. What can we tell you about Darren that he hasn't already told you? His hero is Lyndon McLean. In fact, Darren once wrote that his lifelong ambition, when he grows up, is to own a car like Lyndon's and to lift weights. Darren's excelled in football, volleyball, basketball, badminton, curling, lacrosse this year. This must be hard to believe that since only 1 year ago he was even shorter than Mrs. Olson. Darren plans to attend U of S and take commerce in the fall. With his extreme good looks and a most pleasant personality, I'm sure he will have an excellent time. Many people are amazed that Darren received so many Rookie of the Year awards this year. Football, volleyball, lacrosse, and dating. This should come as no surprise because this is the first year that Darren actually exceeded the minimum height requirement for SHS athletics.
Tina May excuse. Don't worry, Tina. Just listen and smile. Somebody will explain the jokes later. Tina is often referred to as tuna excuse. Something's fishy here. During badminton season this year, Tina had a favorite phrase which she used as often as she could, totally dominating, which was kind of confusing considering her win-loss record. Tina is a well-organized and hard-working individual. Her plans include attending Saskatoon Business College to take an administration course. All the best in your future.
Lori Lynn Dumantel. Lori's date is Lauren Schlemko, and so you could say she's so forlorn. You guys do write these down, I know it. Lori claims she had musical talent lessons in the organ for 8 years. One day, an organ tuner showed up at the Dumantel residence. When Lori answered the door, she claimed, "I never ordered any organ tuner." The organ tuner replied, "I know what the neighbors did." I wish I was out there listening to these. They're great. You think this is bad enough now, but now Lori's teaching younger kids how to play the organ. Lori's a very friendly individual who is always smiling when she greets you. She plans to attend Lethbridge College. However, we believe that her real dream is to take her musical talents on tour, but she's having a little trouble finding a monkey with a tin cup. You'd think after 8 years of organ lessons that she'd be more organized.
Rebecca Marie Lewins. Look at Rebecca. She looks about as nervous as a provincial government employee who has just been invited to an emergency press conference. Don't worry, all we'll give you is your fair share. Becky was a major asset to the volleyball, basketball, track team this year. With Becky on your team, you knew that she would give 110%. Becky's hobbies include painting and algebra. Her future plans are to attend the U of S and take arts and sciences. Rumor has it that Phil is looking to trade his combine on a commuter bus. If all the Lewins children who are coming up to high school are like Becky, they will definitely be an asset to our school. We weren't sure if old Beck was going to be back with us tonight. She looked awfully pale as she white-knuckled her way through the maze-like chemistry final. But just think, that was your last high school chem test. You hope. Good luck, Becky.
Christine Lynn Werner. Don't worry, Christine, we won't call you Wiener in front of all these people. There's friends and family out there, we'd never do that. That'd be mean. Christine did exceptionally well academically this year. Her plans include attending U of S and taking education and to major in exceptional children, education of exceptional children. When you see Christine and Rosalie hanging around together in the hallways, they remind you also of movie stars, more specifically Laverne and Shirley. The two of them have mastered the art of loitering because they're always in the hallways between classes. We're sure that Christine will carry on the tradition of the teaching profession. Loyal, responsible, dedicated, mature, hardworking, kind of like us. Good luck. And remember, no matter what, teachers have class.
Lauren Gabriel Slemko. Gabriel, wasn't that an angel? It's a good thing that his first name isn't Gabriel. Lauren is famous for his Stampede wrestling imitations. He is also a 3-time winner of the Arnold Schwarzenegger Sounds Alike Award. Lauren speaks 2 languages, English and fluent gibberish. He has succeeded in talking for 10 minutes straight without saying a word. Lauren's plans are to attend Palliser Technical School in Moose Jaw to become a mechanic. With his interest in cars, we are certain that he will do well. Although rumor has it that Lauren has just turned down the job of Arnold Schwarzenegger's body double in the movie Terminator 3. Good luck.
Greg Gordon Olson, next Vice Mayor of Simi. He's definitely no relation to Mrs. Olson, although they both are pretty short. Greg is one of our semi-transit students. He excels in volleyball, badminton, and lacrosse. Greg plans to attend Lethbridge Community College, become an accountant, and make lots of money. Over the past several years, Greg has been quoted a number of times saying that familiar phrase, "Don't worry, trust me." This has about as much truth in it as the old saying, "The check is in the mail," or "We're from the government, we're here to help." Or worse yet, the Shaunavon weather report, "No rain in the forecast." How about that rain? Greg's biggest goal in life is to improve the rapid transit system from Simi to Shaunavon. Good luck, Greg, in your future.
Cindy Ann Allemand. Allemand left. Boasts the strangest earring collection in southern Saskatchewan. Cindy informed Dave and I that our plans are to find and marry a rock singer by the name of Charlie Sexton. Charlie who? So we asked Cindy. Her reply, well, he's a rock and roll singer with a Texas accent and a great broad primo. I'm about the only one in Shaunavon who listens to him. Cindy is well known for her soft-spoken touch and secretive mannerisms such as, "If you don't stop, I'll bite your face off." Or, "You'd look pretty funny with a truck parked up your nose." Yeah, there's no buts about it. Cindy lets her affection be known by pinching fellow classmates in the behind. Which confirms what we always thought. Cindy is truly a pain in the butt. Cindy doesn't know what she plans to do in the future. Judging from her earring collection, we think she could start her own line of fishing lures. Or judging from her aggressive behavior, we think that she could team up with Lauren Schlemko and travel to the Stampede Wrestling Circuit as the Beauty and the Beast. Good luck in your future.
Lance Edward Stevenson. What can we say about Lance that hasn't already been said? Lance's future plans, so he says, are to apply to Harvard or technical school. We think he's going to end up lifeguarding in a secretarial pool. These are great. He's well known for his weekend retreats in search of peace and tranquility. Then once he finds it, he usually asks it for a fight. Just a typical hockey player, I guess. Lance is also very popular for his hall, bathroom, and parking lot patrol. It's really too bad he didn't do a little more of that classroom patrol. Lance's accomplishments aren't all bad, though. It is said that he's seen consistently trying to bridge the gap between male and female relations, as well as his unselfish actions, such as tasting other students' lunches to see if they're safe to eat. These things put him up there right with the other martyrs. Good luck, Lance, in your future.
Janice Irene Stenick. For inquiring minds only. Janice thinks a Rhodes Scholar is someone who drives around all day. It's nice to see you dressed conventional tonight. Janice is a very quiet and subdued individual while at school. In fact, Mr. Dubnick and I had a lot of trouble deciding what to tell you about Janice because she is so quiet. So we did some research. We interviewed a number of very reliable sources. This is what we came up with. A very close friend to Janice said, well, with Janice, the normal is abnormal and the abnormal is normal. According to another source, Janice found out the difference between a one-way street and a two-way street the hard way. Relatives of the family have been quoted as saying that she has been seen climbing trees for firewood and then becoming stuck in the trees. We could attribute this spinniness to being a blonde, or from driving around the block enough times in a row that it's made her dizzy. We soon predict that Janice will become a chain smoker due to the rising cost of cigarettes. Good luck, Janice, in your future endeavors.
Craig David Clark. Looks like a Rough Rider, doesn't he? We've been privileged to have Craig with us for the past year. Craig is our exchange student and joins us from the land down under. He seems to have adjusted quite well to Canadian life. He has learned quickly to hate winter, curse the mosquitoes, and pick the dust out of his teeth after a light Shaunavon breeze. Craig has overcome the difficulties of his strong accent, but still mumbles so much that even he's driving Mr. Godslick crazy. Apparently, when Craig first arrived, he had problems. For instance, while standing in one spot, he'd just tip over. He'd fall downstairs, run into things, or just stumble sideways. The Sawas didn't know what to think. Was it the food, the air, drugs? But finally, they concluded that he just wasn't used to being right side up. Being from the land down under, he was used to being upside down. I guess maybe wearing suction cups or something. It's taken him a while to find his feet, and fortunately he has. But unfortunately, he leaves us soon, and it'll probably take him a while to get used to the down under again. We will remember Craig for his role as Bill Hastings in the SHS drama production. But after seeing him play the role of a female in this play, tipping over and falling down is actually the least of his problems. Craig's future plans are to return to Oz and finish school. Good on you, mate.
Tim Earl Barber. Tim has a beautiful, so he says. No one has ever seen it, because it's always in the shop. Sure it is. What is it this time? First a paint job, then a motor, then another motor. His future is in mechanics. Then there will be no excuse for your truck being in the shop. Tim is an avid hunter. He would even sacrifice school time to pursue his favorite hobby. When asked, what are you hunting this week, Mule? Tim's reply was, two-legged deer. Remember, Tim, there's a limit on those too. I'm not saying Tim's locker was a mess this year, but Tim started his own soil conservation program. I do believe that when he and Lauren Slemko live together next year, between Tim's truck stories, hunting stories, and housekeeping skills, you two are going to need one big shovel. Good luck, Tim.
Stephanie Jane Peacock. That's Steffi, the badminton player, not Steffi Graf, the tennis player. Steffi gives new meaning to the word bad in badminton. Quiet little Steffi has graced our hallways here at SHS. She's seldom heard and oftentimes may go unnoticed, except of green fingernail polish. I've heard of a green thumb, but it was crazy. Steffi plans to farm and study community college to obtain a Bachelor of Science. Her first profession, some of you might not have known, was lifeguard at a wheat pool. But that went against her grain. She could barely handle it. Finally, she said she gave up because she couldn't handle all the flax. Who writes this stuff? One amazing thing about Stephanie is she has missed over a solid month of school in the last term because of sickness, or so she says. And she still has a better attendance record than most of her classmates. Good luck, Steffi, and remember, no matter how much you and your brother argue, he's your brother, and where there's a will.
Loretta Jane Fritz, otherwise known as Rambo, for her rugged and aggressive style on the basketball court and in Al's class. Loretta's successes in academics and sports extend the width and breadth of her own swimming pool. She maintained a 90-plus average while playing basketball and participating in track. She enjoys all other sports as well. She is very successful with her artwork as well. While attending a community art class, Loretta came up with this brainstorm. Instead of sketching a male model, can I trace him? Bet is going to spend a year in Norway and plan to US when she returns home. Bon voyage and good luck.
Rosalie, poor old Dawson. I rose by any other name with Rosie. She hates that name. I found out the hard way. Rosalie is a little confused. Beginning of the semester, she walked into my shop class with a hand and an empty shopping bag in the other. I said, "Okay, let's go shopping." She was very disappointed when she found out she couldn't pay off her MasterCard bill with her Visa. She's yelling in the crowded malls of Swift Current, "What do you mean I'm out of money? I still have more checks." Rosalie plans to travel to Saskatchewan to find a job. The problem, Rosalie will have to clean her own room. Good luck in your future, Rosalie.
Shayla Dawn Hoisington. Miss Simi, 1991. No matter what time of day it is, Shayla always looks like she just woke up. Shayla has a very carefree, easygoing approach to life. Her motto is, talk now, ask questions later. We've been thinking her name should have been Noisington. In fact, Shayla talks so much that each summer she suffers from a sunburned tongue. Shayla's laugh is a real good one too. Sounds like a cross between a cat caught in a grain auger and a horsesaw. Then when she starts snorting, she sounds like a coyote being raked over the hot coals. You have to hear it to believe it. Shayla has learned an important lesson at SHS. Never speak before you put your brain in motion. Shayla is a very optimistic person. If you take a half-filled Coke can, you could say it is either half empty or half full. No matter what, Shayla would fill the can. Isn't that right, Mila? Good luck, Shayla.
John Curtis Salmon. My mother said, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it at all. Just kidding, Kurt.
Kurt's contribution to our school were numerous. Included in this was his tireless effort of timekeeping, scorekeeping, and taking tickets at our extracurricular activities. Don't take this the wrong way. Kurt does have it. He is the #1 Badgers fan, and he loves to argue. There's an easy way to tell if Kurt disagrees with your point of view. Watch closely, and if his lips move, he's disagreeing. Kurt plans to study accounting a year from this fall. We feel that his knowledge of hockey and his argumentative disposition would make him a shoo-in to replace Don Cherry. The only problem is that Kurt would need to add to his wardrobe, tacky pants and a tie. Kurt, now that I have the microphone and you don't, you really hire the referees for that Flyer Badger playoff series? Good luck in the future, Kurt.
Tamara Lee McBurney. Tamara was with us last term. Her attendance was just as bad that term as it was this term. Tamara was late so often that she had her own monogrammed late slip. I see that she subscribes to Hair Color of the Month magazine. Blonde really suits you, Tamara. No, Tamara's not a true blonde, but she's a great actress. Sorry. Her plans to work in the field of cosmetology or hairdressing. This should prove to be a hair-raising experience. We hope that this decision is permanent, and it may be the highlight of your life. Good luck, Tamara.
Tavia Denise Lowell. Lowell, you just stay there. See, she does stand up by herself. Tavia, we really learned to appreciate your musical talent. It is said that music soothes the savage beast. I don't know if that is true, but when you sing, at least Lola's quiet. And that is something that we as teachers haven't been able to do. Tavia has excellent academic ability. She plans to travel to France as an exchange student. From there, she would pick up her laugh on FM frequency. I can hear it now. Hundreds of French people sunning on the Riviera humming Coat of Many Colors or The Road. When we asked Tavia what kind of music she sings, she replied, both country and western. Bon voyage, Tavia. Thank you, because we, like all other Canadians, feel that if you and Lowell spend half the time that you now spend on the phone, will bail us out of our national debt.
It's really getting warm up here. Maybe after this one it'll get really hot. Ken Bridge, nickname Seymour. Teachers often refer to her as the late Kendra Bridge because she's always late for school, last seen anywhere but at school. Kendra's future plans are to go to work in a bank. I have some questions now posed to you people. If Kendra was kicked out of school, would she be considered a suspension bridge? Or if she's a real partier, would she be considered a bridge? And when she's not home, could you say the bridge is out? And man, when she sets her mind on something, you could say that she's a one-way bridge. Found out there's one bridge you don't want to cross. Good luck in your future, Kendra.
Marnie DeLee Cairns. Marnie Cairns is a very good student. She could often be found helping in and around the developmental center. She seems to have great talent for working with these students. This perhaps is why she has chosen this sort of work for her future. But not all of Marnie is kind and gentle. She has a nasty habit of not so much, except when you mention the name Scotty. Marnie could always be found seated in the hallway discussing one of these two things, the upcoming weekend or the past weekend's events. With her seated between Angie and Mila, it looked like the opposite of the monk. No evil, hear no evil, do no evil. Good luck and take Cairns.
Melanie Ann Zeri. Nickname Spring, her ability to jump very high. Melanie was involved in volleyball and track. She's best known for her speed out of the blocks in the sprints. In fact, the only person to beat her was Jeff Ritz, but it was in a hallway race and someone at the other end yelled, "Free burgers." So maybe we can't count that one. Mel may be able to put her speed to use when she goes to work for her father. I imagine there'll be no such thing as wait for a drink with her in the place. I watched Mel write one of her exams earlier this week. Boy, she must have been confident because she was smiling through the entire exam, all 5 hours of it. Actually, maybe it was nervous, scared smiles, like you see on a politician when he's about to answer a question. I think maybe Custard had the same smile on his fateful day. I'm sure you did well, Mel. Mel's athletic abilities writing this, running scared, jumping to conclusions, and beating around the bush. Good luck, Mel, in your future. Joy Cave. With a last name like that, it's no wonder she always looks like she's in the dark. It's nice to see you looking so pretty this evening. Nice to see your hair is all done up. You see, a time while back, when her parents were on vacation, Chuck and Gina Dett received a frantic phone call from Mila. Visions of horror flashed through Jean's mind as she tried to calm Mila down. "What is it, a burglar? Fire? Are you sick?" "No, it's worse. I'm out of hairspray." No mistaking Mila for being level-headed. And Mila, how about the time that you and Angie lost the truck in the Park Current Mall? Is it true that you had to wait till all the other vehicles left until you found yours? Is there a trace of blonde in your heritage, or is it perhaps some of Angie's? Good luck in your nursing profession.
Darren James Mathers. Look at him standing there, cheerful and confident.
Better do this one. You'd never know that during class time he created a lot of heated debate. You see, his mouth tends to get him in trouble. His lips are flapping before his brain is in gear. Funny story I have to tell you. The other day, Darren got pulled over by the police, and reeled down his window. The policeman asked for a driver's license, and Darren produced it. The policeman says, "It says here you have a restriction. You're supposed to be wearing glasses." Darren says, "It's okay, I have contacts." And the policeman replies, "I don't care who you know. You're still supposed to be." Darren plans to study automotive mechanics in Moose Jaw. Not a bad idea considering how many vehicles he drives around a day. The discussion around the Mathers household is whether Mr. or Mrs. Mathers will be moving up to help him study. Good luck, Darren, in your future. Another one. Sherry Lynn Holly Hagen. Sherry's interests include writing poetry, sports, and travel. Her plans are to work for a year, then attend college. However, she's not chosen a specific field. Sherry, having taught you during last year in accounting, I remember you continually reminded me that you enjoyed bookkeeping and that you were excellent at it. I agree with you 100%. In fact, perhaps keeping may be your forte. By the way, the library still wants all those books back. Good luck in your future.
Marcia Lynn Quist. What an intriguing name. In all seriousness, we looked up the meaning of her name in the book of names. It means one from Mars. This explains the spaced out look Marcy gives once in a while. This is not the only thing intriguing about Marcy. Her constant, carefree smile, ever-pleasant disposition, and her Venus flytrap hairdo, which I see you have subdued tonight. Marcy was a new rival to our school last year. She has quickly fit in at SHS. Her contributions to SHS volleyball and badminton. Throughout the volleyball season, Marcy promoted the art of bus driving. Marcy put a new twist into everyday activities when she introduced toilet plunging as an contact sport. It seems that Lyndon was responsible for her black eye during Welcome Week earlier this week. Just don't ask. In the fall, Marcy plans to attend Bible College in Texas and hopes to enter the field of education. Good wishes.
Melissa Swatsky Wright. Look at her. She's so lifelike. She's definitely an academic overachiever. I mean, most people who have 5 spares a week would waste their time on things like homework or studying, but no, not Melissa. In her efforts to strive for academic excellence, many times I could walk by the home ec room and see her watching Sesame Street or Mr. Dress Up. Is there no end? Melissa has been involved in many community activities, and she's also got her level 3 coaching in figure skating. She plans to become an equestrian rider and study psychology at Billings, Montana. The professions, however, they make good horse sense. Good luck, Melissa.
Rebecca Lynn Becky Meek. Becky. You ever not... No, I'm not complaining, but don't your cheeks get sore? Becky has a reputation as being an excellent driver. That's probably very true. I've heard that she's been driving all her teachers around the bend. Becky specializes in good grades and badminton. She is planning to attend the U of S, hoping to get into medicine. But first, she is cruising over to England with her cousin. Imagine spending 10 hours on a plane, sitting next to that smile. It kind of makes your face sore just thinking about it. Good luck, Becky.
Winnette Ray Winquist. Winnette, have you recovered from any of those algebra tests yet? I'm not saying they're long, but they should have come with a dinner. You never thought of Winnette as being extremely religious, but when most of her classmates brought calculators to the exam, she brought up rosary beads. At the end of the exam, when it was time for, at the end of their final exam, when it was to take that test away from her, she acted like a bear protecting its cub. I think I still got scars on my arm, but I'm sure you did well. I think Winnette belongs to the Car of the Week club, because for a while there she was driving to school in a different car each week, which leader, do you really have that much money, or are you just that tough on cars? Walnut will be remembered for two things: looking very busy while doing nothing, and arriving late most mornings. I'm wondering, do you realize that there's a 10 a.m. as well as a 10 p.m.? Good luck, Winnette, in your future plans.
Kendra Dawn Hesh. Note that a hush comes over the crowd. Kendra's greatest achievement this year has been that she is finally taller than Mrs. Olson. Kendra's numerous achievements include sports, academics, and guys. Her academic achievements are not short of being excellent. We could never overlook her contributions to the volleyball team, badminton, and curling teams. She was never short for words while coaching the junior volleyball team. Kendra is extremely courteous. She would never belittle or talk down to anyone. However, Kendra does have some shortfalls. It is said when in search of a man, she becomes like an animal hunting its quarry. Where is that quarry? Kendra's future plans include a course in paralegal where she will study shorthand. We believe that someday she will start her own small business. Good luck in all your future endeavors.
I guess we're just a few minutes ahead of schedule, and as you all know, the Lotto 649 draw was made yesterday. And so here are the names of the losers. Just kidding. How about this rain? We've been having so much rain. On the way over, I saw a grasshopper with wet feet. And we were just handed a ticket here that says, with a sailboat license number XYZ, please go turn your lights off. In all seriousness, we'd really like to thank you all for listening to us. We really enjoy making these things up. And like I say, they were all made in jest. We enjoy it too, and I know you're writing most of these down to tell at home and things. So I want part of the royalties. Thank you for your time. Good night.
The graduates may now be seated.
Graduates, parents of graduates, fellow teachers, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome you all to the exercises of the graduate class. First of all, I'd like to thank all the members of the various committees for the work that they have done in making this evening possible. And also a special thanks to Mrs. Olson, Mrs. Mathers, and Mr. Noel for acting as advisors with the student committees. Special thanks to the liaison committee and also the volunteer parents, and a large number of them, for their help and support. Graduates, you are the class that I relied on in the past year for the leadership within the school. You proved yourselves on many occasions to be a mature, responsible group, and made me feel very proud of you. I realize that throughout the year there were some difficulties and differences that occurred. It was the understanding and cooperation that was the basis in resolving the conflicts. I would like to use this opportunity to personally thank each of you for making this a successful year. The theme you have chosen, Memories Will Be Our Souvenirs, is most appropriate for your graduation. All of you will have many fond memories of the different things that happened to you in your school years, varying from the first few years of school to the many classroom experience activities in your school years, and to some of those more sort of outrageous activities that occurred in school. Also, the many things you did with your families will be fond, memorable souvenirs for you. All of these past experiences have acted in shaping you into the kind of person you are today. But with graduation, you will be now stepping into the second stage of your life, away from the family and friends, and where the majority of the decisions will be long-term rather than day-to-day. Most of you have made up your decision about next year, where some of you are off to university, some of you traveling, some to technical schools, and others labor force. But remember, set your goals high. With the educational background you now have, anything is possible if you want it badly enough. Yes, it requires a lot of hard work and effort on your part, but success will only occur if you are willing to put the effort that is required. In today's society, it appears more and more evident that in order to obtain a job, a worker will have to be a career specialist with a broad range of skills. This will require you to continue to learn, and there will be a need for re-education for new skills every few years. If you are to be competitive in the labor market, you will need a little extra over all the others that will be applying and competing for the limited number of jobs. At times, getting the job may be difficult and life might appear trying. But remember, there is no easy way if you are going to be the best, and never underestimate your potential. All anyone can expect from you is that you give your best efforts so that satisfaction and enjoyment are part of your life in whatever you do. In conclusion, I'd like to share this short little poem with you, and it's entitled, Don't Quit. When things go as they sometimes will, when the road you're trudging seems all uphill, when the funds are low and debts are high, and you want to smile but you have to sigh, when care is pressing you down a bit, rest if you must, but don't quit. Life is queer with its twists and turns, as every one of us sometimes learns. And many a person turns about when they might have won had they stuck it out. Don't give up, though the pace seems slow. You may succeed with another blow. Often the struggler has given up when he might have captured the victor's cup. And he learned too late when the night came down how close he was to the golden crown. Success is failure turned inside out, the silver tint of the clouds of doubt. So stick to the fight when your hardest hit. It's when things are worse that you mustn't quit. From one of your fellow classmates, a card that came in, I'd like to just share with you. It comes from Chris Johnson. I would like to pass my best wishes to all of you former classmates and the best of SHS staff and the future. So on behalf of the staff of the Shaunavon High School, I'd like to take this opportunity to wish each of you the best that life can offer. Thank you.
A group of the graduating students will now perform Pray For Me, which is also found in the back of the program. This will be followed by a slide presentation recalling the graduates' high school experiences.
know that love will bring us back around.
Our guest speaker tonight is Miss Melanie Shukin, who was a senior English teacher at the Shaunavon High School last year. She was very popular and well-liked by all the graduates.
However, officials from the Department of Highways informed Ms. Shukin that if she didn't cut down on her weekend expeditions to Regina, she'd have to pay the highway repair bills. Shukin now teaches at Fort Capel, which is much closer to Regina, and her boyfriend. Graduates have asked her back tonight, for she was well-liked and missed by all this year.
I just want to see what Dave Dumnick was drinking. Each time he had a sip, he got louder and he kept saying how great those things were. Good evening, honored graduates, and all of you who have come to celebrate this special occasion. My name is Melanie Shukin, and I would just like to say what an honor it is to be part of Shaunavon Grad 91. Yes, June is that wonderful month of achievement when millions of high school graduates have their diplomas read to them by their parents. Having only taught these fine ladies and gentlemen for I was pleasantly surprised to be chosen for guest speaker for their graduation. I've discovered, however, that this choice was based on my ability to drone on for long periods of time. And so, I will try to make this speech immortal. However, for you, the guests, I promise not to make it everlasting. The grads have chosen memories will be our souvenirs. This theme is appropriate as they leave behind one part of their lives and enter another. Souvenirs are wonderful tokens of remembrance. Melanie Zeri, in years to come, will look at all her awards for track and with pride recall the hard work and dedication. Melissa Wright, while dusting her curling trophies years from now, will smile in remembrance of all the fun she had in winning these awards. And years from now, Eleanor Mathers will come across one of Darren's old report cards and laugh hysterically. These souvenirs, however, would be meaningless without the memories that accompany them. Memory is undoubtedly the diary that we all carry with us. At this time, I would like to share some of my memories from my Shaunavon diary. The first that stands out, or up, depending on how you look at it, was my receiving a bottle of hairspray during some sort of initiation procedures. I believe the note said most likely to miss a day of school when running out of hairspray. I didn't know whether to be embarrassed and ashamed. Were these a bunch of environmentalists blaming me for the destruction of the ozone layer? Or should I be proud? Would I start a trend of blonde, puffy hair? I I hear that Dave Dubnick is trying to carry on the tradition by spending long hours hooked up to a battery charger. Another fond memory is when one class praised me for my appearance at the end of the day. I had actually worn a dress. I wanted to run over, thank them, and tell them to have a nice weekend. I was stopped in my tracks, however, because when I stood up behind my desk, I realized that my slip was lying around my ankles. No one ever knew about that. I mumbled a quick farewell and hoped they'd all leave in a hurry. Memories of trying to get to know the staff, trying to be accepted in the school, and trying to deal with the first-year teacher blues are still vivid and have that nightmarish quality. Through all of this, I found myself looking up, or down, I suppose, to Debbie Olson. She always seemed to have wise advice, or at least a wisecrack to cheer me up. Show me a woman who can rise above her troubles, and I'll show you a teacher wearing 5-inch heels. I do have memories of most of the grads tonight, but this would take most of the evening, and so I can only mention a few. My lasting memory of Cindy was her ability to beat on any male in the class to get her point across. I have the haunting memory of Corey snoring in class. This leads me to believe that all schools should be air-conditioned. After all, it's unhealthy for people to sleep in a stuffy room. I still have nightmares when I think of Laurel, who made the strangest noises you can imagine. And Octavia, when she got on a giggling spree. Now I find out they're going out. It's strange. I remember thinking Loretta knew more about what I was teaching than I did. I spent hours trying to figure out Terry Elmgren's train of thought, and now I hear he's off to university, which proves you can lead a boy to college, but you can't make him think. I remember my Babar, Jeff Barr, spending more time in the hall than in my class. I have memories of trying to convince Darren Mathers that life is what is happening to you. You can't switch to another channel. Then there were Marnie's endless excuses for being late, like I was walking behind a slow dog. I recall Tina's ability to complain. One day she came in from gym class absolutely exhausted. She was angry because Ken Mathers was making them do physical fitness tests. Tina said, "We have to see who can do the most push-ups, and it's just not fair. The girls with the big chests didn't have nearly so far to go to touch the floor." And then there was Lauren Schlemko, who was the only student looking forward to reading Shakespeare. He thought we'd be studying anatomy in Cleopatra. These flashes of memory may seem small and insignificant, and some of them are made up. But to me, they comprise one large, wonderful memory of students I considered mine. Even though we went through times of anger and resentment, and the occasional yelling session, this only proves that nervous breakdowns show you care. I think the strongest memory I have of Shaunavon is last year's grad. I can still picture the festivities, the grad march, the giving of the roses to the parents. But mostly I remember seeing Debbie Olson, Eleanor Mathers, Trish Gottslig, and others crying. Without realizing it, I too was crying. But Henry Klippenstein told me that this was a good sign. I was part of a large family who cared about each other and was sad and proud at the same time because members of that family were leaving to seek their own destinies. I'd become part of this family in such a short time, and he complimented me. I have those same feelings tonight. Although I haven't been part of your lives for a year, I still feel like I'm part of this family, and again, I thank you for including me. This is your graduation, your special night from high school. It seems that the only time school is treasured is when it is no longer part of one's lives. Looking back, in 12 years you have faced ups and downs, successes and failures, pleasant surprises and disappointments, which are commonly referred to as school days. Now you can look back on your school days as a preparation for the future. As a result of your education, you have developed a set of values. You have been taught to accept responsibility. You have learned to cooperate with others, no matter what the situation. These qualities will help you cope with the changes you will face. These are changing times. If you don't think so, try to explain the liquor store holding a back-to-school sale. Seriously, I'm confident that you will meet each challenge with success. Confirmation of your success can be seen by the respect and admiration in the faces of those who have helped you and those who have watched you grow as a person. As you grow out on your own, it is both a sad and proud moment for teachers, parents, and loved ones. I hear that Terry Nash is so emotionally distraught over Kendra leaving that she couldn't bring herself to buy a graduation gift for Kendra. Ted, being a caring husband and father, decided to do this heart-wrenching task. He went out and bought a phone answering machine for Kendra. This way, Terry could talk to her daughter at any time. Also, not her own, heard by anyone calling their daughter. Hello. You have Kendra Hesh, the tape begins. This is Kendra's father speaking. I am a 6-foot, 4-inch, 276-pound violent tempered gorilla. Please keep this in mind when conducting business with my daughter. If your business is friendly and honorable, leave your name and number and she'll return your call. Never say parents don't care. Together with the support of classmates, friends, teachers, parents, and loved ones, you have reached a common goal. Tomorrow, your paths will separate as you each strive for different goals. Remember that mistakes will occur along the way, but these are a part of learning. Remember that experiences are a part of growing. I'd like to read a poem that I hope will inspire you on your journey into a successful future. And thank God it's not the same one Ron Tykolis read. It's called Beginning Today. I will begin this day anew with the thought of becoming the person I'd like to be. If not completing that difficult journey today, at least getting a little further along the way. Today I will set aside some time just for me, to plan, to dream, to be honest with myself about myself, to become better acquainted with this person that I am and this place that I call home. Today I will experience something new. I will learn from the world around me, from the words I read, the sounds I hear, the touches I feel, the faces I see. Even through the course of my daily tasks, I will try to learn, lean toward understanding, try to make the commonplace a wondrous place to be. Today I will think of my friends and be warmed by the thought. Of my loved ones, I try to show them all the love that I feel. Today I'll thank the people and places that have helped me along my way. The friendships and smiles, the hardships and trials that have made me what I am today. Today I'll remember how naturally happiness comes to the person who thinks it should be. I'll remember how, by some interesting twist, doing for others is also doing for me. I'll remember that having a sense of humor has helped me to survive. I'll remember when everything else seems to go wrong, that I'm glad of life, of living this day. I'm happy to be alive. Today I will listen to my inner needs and comply as best I can. With a little learning for my mind, as much love as my heart can hold, nourishment and exercise for my body, seeing all the beauty of the world for my soul. Today I will think of the past only long enough to learn from it. The future only for a fleeting dream. Today is my day. This minute is mine. I'll make it work for me. I'd like to express my best wishes to all of you, the grads of 91. You made my first year of teaching a success, and although I never really expressed it, I loved you all in a special way. You were my first kids, and you'll always hold a special place in my heart and in my memories. As you begin a new chapter of your diary, leave your dreams to the future and take your memories to cherish always. Thanks.
The next item on the agenda is the presentation of scholarships and bursaries.
Ms. Shukin, could you come back up here for a second, please? On behalf of the entire graduating class of 1991, we would like to express our heartfelt thanks to you for coming down from Fort Capel to make your address, and I'm sure it affected us all. We would just like to present you with this gift as a token of appreciation. Thank you.
As I said before, the next item on our agenda is the presentation of scholarships and bursaries. We will call each presenter individually to give their awards. After each presentation, we ask that the recipients and presenters go to the left of the stage where their pictures will be taken. Thank you.
Our first scholarship will be the Elks Prize, presented by Mr. Lance Hagan.
Good evening. On behalf of the Shaunavon Elks Lodge, I would like to congratulate the graduating class of 1991 and wish them the best in the future. The Shaunavon Elks Lodge presents an annual award of $500 to the highest achievement in academics. This year's winner is Miss Loretta Fritz.
The Order of the Royal Purple Scholarship will be presented by Ms. Liz Sport.
Good evening. Congratulations, grads. I bet when some of you had me as your grade 1 teacher, you didn't think you'd survive 12 years. The Order of the Royal Purple present a scholarship to a good all-round student. And this year we'd like to present it to Jeff Fritz.
Next bursary is the Royal Canadian Legion Ladies Auxiliary Bursary, represented by Mrs. Jean Billington.
Good evening, and I also would like to congratulate the grads, and I wish you all the best in your future endeavors. And I'd like to call on Jeffrey Barr. Our bursaries are given to not necessarily academic. It's more need than marks. Our second one, I would like to call on Terry Elmgren.
The next scholarship is the Patty Brettle Memorial Scholarship, presented by Mr. Gary Megenberg.
Congratulations, graduates. Ladies and gentlemen, the Patty Brettle Memorial Scholarship was established after Patty's tragic death in a motorcycle accident. The scholarship consists of the interest accrued from a memorial fund established in her name. The award is given each year to a graduate who has maintained a good academic standing while displaying a positive attitude and commitment to extracurricular and community activities. The selection committee would like to thank the 14 applicants this year, and the decision was far from easy. It is my distinct privilege to award the 1991 Patty Brettle Memorial Scholarship to Mr. Jeff Ritz.
The next bursary is the Angus Willett Bursary, presented by Mrs. Lori Cowan.
Good evening. Congratulations, graduates. It was Mr. Willett's intent that 2 bursaries be given, one to a graduate attending university and one to a graduate attending an alternative post-secondary institution. The recipient tonight for post-secondary is Tina Skews, and university is Corey Deemert.
The next bursary is the Shaunavon Parent Teacher Association bursary, presented by Mrs. Marcia Pasteur.
My congratulations to the grads. This year's recipient is Loretta Fritz.
Next bursary is the Shawnee Club Bursary, be given away by Mr. Bob Stenick.
Congratulations to the grads on behalf of the Shawnees. And this year's winner is Christine Warner.
The next bursary is the Kiwanis Club bursary, presented by Mr. Bob Stenick.
Mr. Roger Kirster.
congratulations to the graduates of 1991. Kiwanis Club has 2 bursaries to be presented, one to Kendra Hesh and the second one to Christine Werner.
Before we give away the next scholarship, could Michael Davidson please meet Mrs. Olson to my right? The next scholarship is the Kinsman Club Prize, presented by Mr. Mike Elmgren.
Bruce, you're falling down.
Congratulations to the graduating class of 91, and thank God a lot of them are leaving. I know the Shaws hate to see Darren go, but my food bill is going to go down something terrible. The Kinsman Club present a bursary strictly on marks to the second highest point average, and we're proud to present it to Tavia Vole.
The next bursary is the Kinet's bursary presented by Mrs. Gwen Johnson.
On behalf of the Shaunavon Kinet Club, I would like to present our bursary to Jeff Ritz.
The next scholarship is the Knights of Columbus Scholarship. It will be presented by Mr. Gerald Jurdot.
On behalf of the Knights of Columbus, we too would like to congratulate the graduates of 1991, and we look forward to serving you breakfast in several hours. You've all had the opportunity to see them as they stood up here before. We have the chance to see them at 4 o'clock in the morning. In selecting for a scholarship, or a student or a graduate for a scholarship, we look for a student who has an acceptable academic standing and one who is going to continue his education. And a very important consideration is one who demonstrates the Knights of Columbus principle of charity. That's a student who participates in church activities. He freely volunteers his time to his family, school, church, and community, and one who demonstrates they care and can share. On behalf of the Knights of Columbus, I would like to call on Mr. Jeff Ritz to accept this scholarship.
The next bursary is the Christ the King Parents Association bursary presented by Mrs. Sandra McKellar.
I'd like to extend my best wishes to all the grads, and this year's recipient is Becky Lewins.
The next award giving out is the Women in Action Scholarship, presented by Mrs. Colleen Stenick.
behalf of the Women in Action, I would like to present the scholarship to Rebecca Meek.
The next scholarship is the Norman Bakke Memorial Scholarship presented by Miss Adele Bakke.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations, graduates. On behalf of my family, I'd like to present the Norman Bakke Memorial Scholarship to this year's recipient, Corey Deemert.
Next scholarship is the Charles Weiss Bussey Memorial Scholarship. Doctors Ted Bussey and David Bussey will be giving the scholarship.
I'm Ted. No. I was Ted Boozy when I graduated from the Shaunavon High School back when the earth was still cooling. And back then there were 8 of us graduating from school. My father was on the school board, and it's in his memory that we established the scholarship. Brother David was a Luther graduate in Regina. The young lady chosen this year by the scholarship committee impressed us with her determination to succeed and her insight into the problems that she may encounter in doing so. Old Charlie would be happy to have had her among his students. May I call on Christine Warner to receive this award.
The next bursary is the Shaunavon High School Prize presented by Mrs. Kathy East.
I am pleased to present the Shaunavon High School Prize. This is its first year of presentation. As you know, the Elks present a prize to the graduating student with the highest average, and the Kinsman Award won to the student with the second highest average. We have chosen to recognize the student with the third highest average. I would now like to call on Darren Shaw to receive this award.
We now come to the valedictorian's address. It is customary that the student with the highest academic standing in grade 12 be chosen as the valedictorian.
It is our honor to call upon the valedictorian for the 1991 graduating class, Loretta Fritz.
We'll just pause a minute here and let me be nervous. Okay. Good evening, everyone. I'm very pleased to be able to welcome you on behalf of the class of 91 to our graduation. This special celebration tonight was made possible only with the help of several important people in our lives. All of our teachers, including our elementary ones, deserve a thank you from us. Thank you is very inadequate for all the work they have done. They've not only They not only teach us the required subjects, but volunteer their time to coach teams, chaperone social functions, organize graduation, and do various other things for us. They also deserve credit for surviving our class. Without our parents and their support, our successes would have been nearly impossible. Thank you, all you parents, for all you have done. Thank you also to all of our friends and extended family members who have helped us reach this point in our lives. Another very important component in our success and achievement represented by this occasion is God. Our lives right now are subject to great changes and uncertainties. This is both exciting and frightening. But as we move away from home, we know God, if no one else, will go with us. Thank you too, Lord. And finally, my fellow graduates, I've learned and grown with you to young adulthood, and I'm very sorry to see our last days together near the end. During this year, I've been storing up memories with a sense of urgency. I've learned that memories are not an accurate record of what actually happened. This means we can't influence them. If we dwell on the negative, we will have only bad memories. If we search for the positive, we will have good memories to cherish as we go forward into our futures. Memories, good ones, happy ones, will be my souvenirs of our years together. I hope they are yours too. Good night.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the 1991 graduation.
We'd like to extend our personal congratulations to the graduates and wish them the best of luck in their future endeavors.
We would also like to thank all of you for attending and encourage you to stay for the Grand March, which begins at 10.
Kurt Salmon and Loretta Fritz.
Tim Barber and Cindy Donovan.
Jeff Anderson and Melissa Wright.
Would the parents of the graduates please meet their children at the front? Stephanie Peacock and Jeff Barr.
Stephanie Peacock and Jeff Barr. Lindquist and Frank Clark.
Ryan Coulter and escort.
Rosalie Dawson and Jeff Ritz.
Corey Diener and escort.
Lloyd Vivital and Lauren Shanko.
Terry Algren and escort.
Sharon Hagan and escort.